What's up, everyone? This is Bret. It's Friday, December 7th, 2012. Here with a new episode of Friday on the Turntable. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all my subscribers, all the new people that are clicking on it and watching my channel here for the first time. Welcome. So today I'm talking about the band The Big Pink and their first album, A Brief History of Love. First, I have to give you a little backdrop on how I discovered this band. My band Audra was on tour, and we were stopped in San Diego. We did a show at a venue there called Humphreys, and my brother and I went into a record store called M Theory, and while we were shopping for records, this music was on, and we were listening to it for a while and just could not pinpoint what it was because it sounded vaguely familiar. Maybe some of the influences of the bands were coming through, and I was thinking, is this a new Richard Ashcroft from The Verve? And there were elements of other bands, and I just couldn't pinpoint it. So finally my brother went up, asked him what it was, and they said it was this album, The Big Pink, Brief History of Love. And it had just literally, I think it came out, or it was coming out that Tuesday. But my brother Bart bought it on the spot on CD, and we listened to it in the van all the way back home. And the second I got back to town, I took a drive to the my local record store, and I bought the vinyl, which you see here in my hand. So this came out September, I think it was 14th, 2009, on 4AD Records, 4AD, home of Cocteau Twins, the Pixies, the first Bauhaus, tons of bands, Dead Can Dance. And so, little side note, Mr. Hall of Fame Brandon did a little thread on earballing, where albums you've discovered by being in a record store and you hear it come over the speakers in the store, and you go and you ask what it is, they tell you what it is, and then you buy it on the spot. So this was definitely earball, Brandon. Yeah, so it's a 2 LP set. It sounds really good. It's stretched out, so some of the sides have 2 songs, some have 3 on it. Really just beautiful picture sleeves on this. The labels are all custom, and they have various things on each one. The lyrics are on both sides of the sleeves. It's essentially a 2-person band. There's a guy named Robbie Furtz who's the singer, and he also plays guitar. And I seen them live, but he actually has the Metallica logo tattoo on his arm, which is just a little side note, which I thought was cool. But the other guy, Milo Cordell, he actually started a record label. It's called Merrick Records, and they had the first EP released from Active Child, the Claxons, and also Crystal Castles. And really interesting, and he does the electronics in the band and the keyboards, and probably most of the drum beats and stuff. But what's also really interesting about him is his father was Denny Cordell. And Denny actually produced the first Moody Blues album. He produced Procol Harum's Whiter Shade of Pale. He produced Joe Cocker's With a Little Help from My Friends. So really just great lineage there of Milo. And they're a British band. And the music is pretty dark, yet it's kind of catchy, guitar-driven, yet with electronics, so it kind of falls somewhere between. I don't like to do comparisons, but if I had to kind of give some references, like if Depeche Mode met early New Order with a little bit of My Bloody Valentine thrown in there. So if that makes sense, it's kind of where the music falls. It's very original, great melodies, excellent songwriting, and there were actually 4 singles released from this album. There was an early one that came out before the album called Too Young to Love, and I think that was re-recorded for the album. And then also Dominoes, which was in the indie world kind of a huge song. That was a single. The song Velvet was a single, and also Tonight. And the track Velvet is incredible. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. And the B-side to that was a really great cover of Otis Redding's These Arms of Mine. So you can find that. Definitely worth seeking out. Some other favorites of mine are Love in Vain is a great track. Dominoes, excellent. the title track, A Brief History of Love, is also an excellent one. As I mentioned earlier, I saw them live shortly. I think it was a few months after this came out. They toured. They did a club headlining tour, and also on the bill opening for them was A Place to Bury Stranger, the band from New York. So that was just a super intense, loud experience. But Big Pink was really great live, and I think they had I think it was a 4-piece. They had a female drummer and a guy playing bass who was also in the band that played earlier in the night called Io Echo. I think it was an LA band, and then the other 2 people. So I think live they were a 4-piece. I'm not sure how they are to this day. But earlier this year they put out their 2nd album, and this is called Future This. Excellent album. Definitely recommend this as well. And they are actually currently in the studio working on a new album for 2013. So I think that about sums it up. Just kind of give you a quick show of the back here. So yeah, 2 album set, highly recommended. Definitely falls right in immediate. Like when I got this, it was just an immediate. It was one of my favorite albums from 2009. And I still pull it out and listen to it every couple months. I think it's excellent. So if you can still find it on vinyl, it should still be in print. I've come across it recently because I bought it. My girlfriend bought it for a friend of hers for her birthday just a month or so ago. So it definitely is out there. So the Big Pink, A Brief History of Love from 2009 on 4AD Records. So I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys very much for. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention it was also the band produced it themselves, but the guy that mixed it is a guy named Rich Costi, who recently worked on the new Jane's Addiction album. He's worked on albums by AFI. Who else did he do? Mew, TV on the Radio, Weezer, a bunch of tons and tons of bands. So it's definitely a really interestingly recorded album. Lots of textures, lots of layers, electronics, guitars. Just really cool. So that's it. Big Pink, Brief History of Love. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back in a couple days with a playlist and some new vinyl finds. So thanks for watching.